I am running short on my silver foil, but I did get an order in today. I just haven't unboxed it. So I'm going to pull out these two little scrap pieces that I have in here. And I think this is going to work just fine for my snowflakes. So I am going to move my stamps that I had over here. Let's put these up here. Kind of get them out of my way, because what I'm needing to do is access my die cut machine. So, and like I told you, I have, if y'all could only see the mess, thank goodness you can only see this much of my desk. So I am going to, let me get Bella out from under my chair. She loves to lay under the wheels of my chair, and it drives me crazy, but she has to be touching me at all times. And I'm going to just lay these on here like that. And I'm going to cut two of each of these. So I'm going to kind of move them around on this one piece. I probably won't even need to use that piece. So I'm going to bring those to my die cut machine. And I'm just going to lay them on here. I'm not going to tape anything down because I think I'm okay. I think I can get these cut without any problem. So let's try that. I'm cranking it through. And let's see what we got. Oh, look how pretty those are. And I like to drop my dies because then my pieces just fall out, and that makes me happy. These little pieces, I'm just going to punch those out using my finger. And you can use your take your pick tool if you needed to, but they came out really easy. This die machine cuts, oh, just absolutely beautiful every time. I tell everybody that I talk to, and so many of you on the video, that if you are in the market for a die cut machine, you cannot ask for a better machine than this Stampin' Cut and Emboss. It is a workhorse, and I'm here to tell you that it will it makes cutting and embossing so easy, because any folder, any die will work with this machine. And it comes with everything you need to start out with. You don't have to go and buy extra plates or anything. It all comes with it. So that makes for a great buy in itself. So I'm going to go ahead and run those next two through my machine. And bring those over. And this is why I keep my little scraps, because you can, so many times you just need a little piece of something. And what did I do with my take your pick tool? There is no telling on this desk. Let's see, maybe it's up here. Every now and then I try to make sure I put stuff back where it belongs, and it doesn't always get there. Y'all know how that is. Well, you know what? I'm just going to use my pencil. You know, when in doubt, use what you got, right? That worked. I just had that one little piece that needed to get knocked out of there a little bit. So now I'm going to pull this one off, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to drop it. And when you drop them like that, it usually pops everything out of the die. And most of the time your little pieces come right out. This is just how wonderful this machine is. So I am going to put this one right about there, and maybe that one there. And I think I'm going to do the same thing here. I think I'm just going to place them pretty much the same on both sides. Maybe we'll do this one over to this side and this one over to that side. Something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and knock my little pieces into my trash can. That'll be a little bit less. I'll have to vacuum up a little bit later. So I'm going to put my machine back together, my plates back together. And now this one is going to be ready, but I think I want to maybe do a little bit of ink blending on here. And I'm thinking I want to do some of that Balmy Blue. So I'm going to grab my blue blending brush. And I told you I don't have one for every color. I have one for every color family. So I marked them with a labeler, and this is the one I use for all my blues, and that works for me. And I'm going to blend a little bit of blue around the edges of these just to kind of accentuate the snowflakes. And I think the blue with the silver is going to be pretty. So I'm going to lay that there. And I need a piece of grid paper. So I'm going to put a piece of grid paper down so that I don't make a mess. This will just give me a place to color onto from my cardstock. So let's bring these up under our grid paper, like so. And I'm going to just tap my ink. I don't need to load up a whole lot. I just want a little bit. And I'm going to tap off right there. And then I'm just going to start swirling. And I'm going to come up from one corner and just kind of go up to the top. Just swirling that color around the edges. And see, I don't really want it to be kind of all over the place. I just want a little bit. Just a little bit of blue, just to give this a really nice look on our card. And I think that's pretty like that. So now we can put one down here, and I want to make sure that I get them centered. And then I think that our snowflakes are going to be so pretty. And I'm going to put one of the big ones to the bottom and the other one to the top, something like that. And I'm going to put these down just using some regular glue. So I am going to just do some little dots of glue. Just like that. I'm being very careful. I don't want to get any of that glue onto my silver if I can help it. Now I can see I already did, but that's okay. I'll show you how to clean that up. So I'm just going to press that down on there, about like that. Press it down, and then I'm going to turn this one over. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the outer edges of that middle part. And then I'm just going to go up on these little pieces and just bring some glue down those pieces, just enough to adhere it. And then this one I'm going to put like that. Maybe we'll do it over this way, just a hair. Like that. Now, like I said, I will show you what I do when I get glue on my silver foil or gold foil or any of the foils, no matter what color it is. It makes it look really kind of messy. I take one of my alcohol wipes, and I've showed y'all how I make those. I just use regular wipes and I pour some alcohol in, and I just go back over and wipe that excess glue off, and that works for me, and it brings the shine and the luster back to my foil. So I like that. So what I'm going to do now is I want to go ahead and adhere this. Well, you know what, before we do that, let's go ahead and do some color blending on this one. Tap it off and then just start swirling. I want it to look like the snow is swirling those snowflakes. So just nice big swirls of color. That back onto my paper. So I'm going to put this one up like that. That worked out really good. And now this one I think I'm going to put right down here. Just like that. So again, I'm going to hold this up, and run some glue around that center, down those little edges. I just love snowflakes. I think they're so pretty. And you can do so much with your snowflakes. And with our little snowman on the inside, I thought this would be a perfect little backdrop on here. So I'm going to move that out of my way. And now we're ready to adhere this onto this card. So what I like to do is I like to bend these back so I can see exactly what I'm dealing with there. That makes it much easier for me to see how I'm getting this down. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm just going to run on the back. And then I'm going to put this one, then we'll put this one to the right, to the left. Something like that, and just press that down. And what I like to do is maybe even open it up a little bit and take that bone folder and just rub it down a little bit. That helps everything kind of, the glue kind of even out. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now this one is going to go on like this. Yeah, I want the big snowflake to the bottom and the small one to the top. And I'm going to put my glue around this one the same way, all the way around the edges. And just do a little swirl through the middle. And I'm going to close that down. And again, I'm looking for my border to be as even as I can get it. Now, we make homemade cards. They're not perfect. That is one thing. If you want a perfect card, you know, go to Hallmark, get one that's printed off of a machine, and you will have perfect. But if you want handmade, something that is artisan that you can't just go in any store and pick up, then handmade cards are definitely the way to go. And you know, if you are a first-time viewer of my channel, please do not be intimidated by a card like this. This card it looks so complicated, but it really isn't. So what I'm going to do now is I want to put glue on this side, and I'm going in with my regular glue, and we are going to put one side down and then the other. And let me do that like that. And then I want to bring this over, making sure I'm getting it nice and even. And I like to bring my piece over like this so I can kind of get a feel if it's going down where I want it to. And that looks like that is perfect. It looks like it's centered up right over top of this one. And you know, that's adhered. Then I want to bring it around to this side, and I want to do the same thing. I want to butt it up into that place right there. In order to do that, I'm just going to fold it back like this, put glue on it. Again, just run your glue. Oops, you don't want glue under there. Just be careful and run your glue around your edges and through your middle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this now in the other direction, putting this down just like that. And then we're going to fold everything in this direction and give it a press, just like that. Now when we open this card, we should have everything where it belongs, just like that. And that's spectacular. Now we're going to decorate the front of it, but I'm really thinking that I want to do this encircled in beauty. And we have also, by using this die, we also have a Christmas set. Let me see if I can pull that. And I think what I'll do is I'll come back and we'll decorate the front of this. So what I may do is I may think about what I want to do on the front, and then when we come back, I'll have everything ready and we will decorate the front of this, and then we can call this card done. And is that not spectacular? Again, here is the finished one that I did earlier using the poinsettia petals and the poinsettia dies, and I thought this one turned out beautiful as well. This one does have some mistakes in it. Like I said, we are crafters. We make mistakes because this is all handmade, but it's still a very lovely card, and I really have enjoyed making this card, learning how to do this. And like I said, this would make a beautiful birthday card, not just a Christmas card, birthday card, a wedding card, an anniversary card. There's just so many things. A get well card. I mean, how fun would it be if you were feeling under the weather to open your mailbox and pull something out like this? So I'm going to close for right now, and when we come back we will have everything ready, cut and ready to go, and we will decorate the front of this and have us a beautiful Merry Christmas on the front, and we will go from there. God bless you, and I will be right back. Thanks so much. Alrighty, we are back, and now we are ready to decorate the front of our beautiful pop-up Christmas card. And when I was with you just a little while ago, we've got the inside completely decorated, and what a statement that makes. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, if you notice, there's nowhere to sign in here, but we're going to put a piece of paper on the back, maybe something that says Merry Christmas, and a place where you can put a signature, and we'll do something decorative that'll be really pretty back there. But let's concentrate on our front. So I went in and I wanted to use this Encircled in Warmth. This coordinates with another die set and stamp bundle that's in our annual catalog. Let me show you that. I should have pulled the stamp, but I didn't. But I do want to show you that the Encircled in Friendship is the stamp set. So I'm going to go back here to my index, and Encircled in Friendship is on page 70. That makes it real easy to find what you're looking for. And it's this one right here. And these show the dies. This is the stamp set, all of the things that it stamps, but this is the dies. And these dies also coordinate with the Encircled in Warmth that is in the mini catalog for Christmas. And of course I had to get it when I saw that it coordinated with these dies. And when I was getting ready to decorate the front of this card, I really wanted to use this because I wanted to do something that looked like a wreath. So I used several of my dies. I cut one piece out using this large die right here. That was that piece, and you can see this is like just a beautiful set of dies. And then I used this die with the outline, and this is the outline. So when you use this with it, it cuts the outline around this. I'll get it centered in there just right. It does fit just like that. And then it gives you this piece like this. Very pretty. Now if you don't use this piece and you only use this, you're going to get where it will cut like a filament type, and I only did this because I made a boo-boo on my circle that cut out of there, and I had needed another one. But I'm going to save this because I'll probably use this on another card. How pretty would that be with a piece of red behind it, and then a white piece here for your sentiment? So I'm definitely going to use that. But if you don't use this piece, this is what you get. And that's true with a lot of the dies. So what I suggest everybody to do, when you get your dies, take them out and cut them. Cut your pieces so you'll know exactly what you got. And then when you get ready to make a card, you have you don't have to do the trial and error. Because sometimes that can be frustrating when you're looking for a certain piece for something. So let me lay that back out of our way. And some of my pieces fell out because I didn't take the time to clean it. Then I also used this one right here, and I cut this out of red, and that is going to sit in like that. And then the center that came out of this one was the green, so I stamped my sentiment on that, and I'm going to stack those up like this, and that's going to be on the front of our card. But we're going to step it up a little bit because I made a mat out of the basic white, and this mat is cut at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then I cut a piece of designer series paper, and I pulled in from that stripes that we used inside here, and I cut this by 4 by 6. I wanted a larger amount of that white to show. I have a piece of our red satin ribbon, and all these order numbers and everything will be in the description below, so if you want to pick up any of these products, I will make it real easy for you to get them. And we're gonna tape this down onto this piece of cardstock like that before we actually adhere it to our white mat. So that's going to go about like that. And then all of that is going to glue onto this with a beautiful bow right there at the top. So what do y'all think of that design? I thought it was so pretty, and I thought that it made a statement. And I'm coordinating all the colors in this designer series paper with my solid cardstock. Again, I cannot stress to you enough how wonderful it is to be able to reach into my bin and know without a doubt that my cardstocks are going to match my designer series paper. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat, y'all. It has turned really, really cold here this morning. It's going to be even colder tomorrow, but it is that time of year, and we've got another cold front moving in for the Thanksgiving holiday. So it's supposed to be pretty cold on Tuesday, and that's when I will be traveling. So sorry, I needed a sip of my coffee. I just absolutely needed coffee. I am going to go ahead and figure out where I want this to go. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Stampin Seal, because Stampin Seal is really one of the best things to use. And I'm just going to put a piece across here and here, just enough to tack in my ribbon. And I want to make sure I got it where I want it on the front, because we can always trim it off here. So I want it to fall midway. So now I am going to take that ribbon and fold it into that adhesive, just like that. And then I want to put some adhesive down the front as well. So I'm going to run a piece of Stampin Seal right down like that. And then I'm going to bring this over and lay it right into that adhesive, just like that. Now I'm going to use Stampin Seal on the back of this, because I want to make sure that I have this well put down on my card. So now that I've got my adhesive on this piece, I want to center this onto my white mat. And I want to get this nice and centered. So I'm taking my time putting it down. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to press. And now my pieces that's going to make my wreath, I want them to come down to the bottom. I'm going to trim this tail off just a tiny bit, about like that. And then I want to build my wreath, and I'm going to build it away from my card, because I don't want to mess this up if I make a mistake here. And that's always a good, and I got a little bit of glue right there, so I don't want that glue. So I'm just going to rub my finger on it to kind of, that was a little bit of that adhesive that ran over, but once you rub it like that, it kind of rubs off. So I got that done. I want to put glue on the back of this. I looked for my silicone craft sheets, and I know they're here. It's just a matter of where. So I'm going to have to clean up. I've been so busy trying to get videos up and finishing up the album and everything that I have just not taken the time to get stuff back organized, and y'all know how that goes. But I'm going to put glue around the circumference on the inside of this, and I'm just going to go up and spot some glue around these pieces. I don't care if they glue completely down. I just want some glue up every here and there. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little bit here and there. Once I get this glue, then I'm going to center this, and it doesn't have to be rhyme or reason. You just want to sit it down on that white nice and even. I think that's good. So I am going to just center that on there like so and press it. So pretty. Now this piece is going to be a lot easier to put in because we're just going to put glue right there and then stick it down. Makes this piece much easier to put on. I am going to make sure I get glue all the way around, and then I'm going to very strategically, I want that to fall right in the middle of that white opening and hold it. Then I'm going to take my sentiment. Do I want to pop that up? I think I want to pop this up. So we're going to get some Stampin Dimensionals. And I'm going to put maybe 3 on here. Just about out of that pack, but you know me, I use those little edges around there, but I think 3 will be good. I'm going to take your pick tool and just pick these off. And then I'm going to make sure I get this nice and centered, just like that. Isn't that pretty? So now I'm going to bring this back over, and I want to put this down right about there. And for this, I think I'm going to pop it up as well. Or do I want to leave it down? No, I'm going to put it straight down. I'll tell you why. I want the bow to lay right on top of this, and if I pop it up, it's not going to work. So we're just going to use glue. Always think through your cards before you put something down. Y'all have seen me do it, and when you don't think it through, then sometimes you don't get a chance to have your card exactly the way you want it. Now this is important to get this nice and straight. You want to make sure your words are straight and even, and in the middle of that. So put that down just like that. And now the crowning touch is going to be our little bow that's going to go right there. And again, I'm going to use my glue dots. Y'all know how much I love my glue dots when it comes to putting my bows down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back of my bow and I'm going to sit this down into my glue dot. Here's my glue dot right there. And I'm just going to sit that into that glue dot and then bring it back over to my project right about here. Work that tail like I want it, and that's so pretty. I am loving the way this card is turning out. I am thrilled. I really loved my one that I did in the soft succulent and the evening evergreen, but I think I'm loving this one even more. So again, I'm just going to use glue. And I'm going to swirl glue all around. And we're also maybe going to put some gems on this. I think it's going to need a little bit of sparkle. So I am going to put this down just like that. Press it. Give it nice firm pressure all over. Oh, is that not gorgeous? And when you open it, oh, so pretty. So pretty. Okay, we need jewels. So let me grab my little box of gems. And I think for this one, I want some rhinestones. Don't y'all think rhinestones would be beautiful on that? So I'm going to go back here into the back of my box, and there's my rhinestones. I think those will be absolutely stunning on this card because it just needs bling. Y'all know that I'm like a bling queen. I love the bling on my cards. So I'm gonna put one right there. Maybe one right here. I'm going to go around this wreath just ever so often and put a gem. I think that's so pretty. That sets it off. We're going to do one up here at the top. Just like that, and I think I want a couple. How about a big one right here? Maybe we'll do 3 up the ribbon just to really set that ribbon off. One right there, and one right here. And I didn't get that one where I wanted it, so I'm going to lift that glue dot if I can without tearing my ribbon and put it back onto my gem. And I want this one to be up just a little bit. Trying to space them evenly. There we go. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a couple of small ones here in the green on this. So 1, 2, and 3. I think I need this one maybe down here. Yeah, I like that. And look how the jewels just really, I don't think the lighting is really picking up the beauty of the jewels. There we go, we're getting a little sparkle there. Isn't that gorgeous? Love how this card has come together. It is stunning, and not because I made it, but it just, when I set out to make it, I knew I wanted to do red, white, and green, but I kind of winged it as I went, and I took y'all along for the journey. I'm going to have a list of all the products I used to make this card, and the other thing we need to do is cut something pretty to go on the back. So let's do that real quick. And I am going to use my, I think I'm going to use the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love these, and I'm going to use the larger one. And we're going to do something across the back, right about like here. And I'm just going to cut a piece of white paper. I don't know what I did with my little sleeve these were in. That's okay. I'll just stick them up here and I'll find it eventually. So I'm going to grab a piece of white. I thought I had a piece of scrap, but I must have put it away. I've always got white scraps. That's one thing I'm never short on. So I want to bring this over to about here, and I'm going to cut this. And I know that I could take my scissors and whack it off, and sometimes I do, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not. I don't do it because when I get ready to use that piece of cardstock, I'm going to have to lay it in there and even it up anyway. So why not just cut it even to start with? So I'm going to lay this on here so I can get a gauge of how much cardstock I need for this piece, and I think about 3 1/2, 3 1/4. Yeah, about 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut that off nice and even, like that. And then this is ready to go on here. So I'm just going to tape it down so it doesn't move on me. And I'm going to run this through my machine, and I'm turning it at an angle so it doesn't pop. If you are dealing with popping when you run through a rectangle or a square, angle it just a tiny bit. Just a little bit will make all the difference in the world. And I put it in just like that and ran it through. When it goes in at that point, rather than the flat place, it's much easier on your machine, your plates, and everything else. Another little tidbit that you can put away in the back of your the recesses of your mind, and just kind of bring that out when you need it. It really does make a world of difference. So, all right, put this over here. My plate back together. And I want to stamp just something with Merry Christmas on it. We could do Wishing You. Let's see if this one will fit. And then it would still give us, this would still give us, and we're using that same stamp set, the Encircled in Warmth. And we can stamp this right up here, like that. And then you've still got a place to sign. I love that. So let me grab a stamp block. Y'all, I got so much stuff over here I can't open my doors. Oh my goodness. Yep, I have definitely got to do a little cleaning, but you know what? It'll have to come a little bit later because I've got to finish some things. We are going to my daughter's and for Thanksgiving, so I have got so much to do. I didn't want to take a lot of time off, but I may end up only putting up one video for next week, since I am going to be out of town pretty much almost the whole week. So, you know, I'm not sure if that's going to stamp like I want it, so I'm going to try it right here on this little scrap. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Let's ink it again. I'm going real gentle in the ink. You'll find out if you use Stampin' Up! Ink pads, they're very juicy, but they give you a beautiful stamped image almost every time. So I'm putting that down like that. Beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? And if you wanted to, you could do some snowflakes. I'm not going to do anything else because I think that this is perfect the way it is. And sometimes less is more, and we have got a lot going on this card anyway. So I don't think we need anything else to complicate the matter. So I am going to use my Stampin' Scrub and clean. I've got some cleaner on here already. This really, because of the Velcro, it's looped. And it's just a really nice way to clean your stamps. So if you don't have one of these, I suggest getting one. And the Stampin' Mist that goes with this, you just spray some of that on. You can reactivate it with just a squirt of water, so it goes a very long ways. It's a very economical way to clean your stamps. It is an investment to buy it, but then once you have it, you have it. So now I'm just going to glue this straight down, and then when I get ready to sign it, I'll just sign my name on the back. In fact, I'm going to use a little bit of temporary adhesive so that I can take it off. I'm just going to put it on. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product, but it is something I like to use when I just need a temporary adhesive. And I'm going to put this right about here, just like that, and then turn it over, and oh my word, I am loving this card. It is stupendous. With a place back there to sign your name. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope y'all have enjoyed this tutorial. It has been so much fun bringing this one to you. I pray that everybody is going to have a very blessed upcoming Thanksgiving, and be thankful. Be thankful of who you are, what you are, and most of all, be thankful. If you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, thank Him for being in your heart, in your life, for washing you with His precious blood and making you whole so that the Father can look at you. Because it is only through the blood of Christ that God the Father can see us and look upon us because he is so holy. So as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Until we craft again, may God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.